Welcome to today's Explainer. We're turning that massive, kind of overwhelming course selection handbook into a super clear, exciting roadmap for your secondary education journey. Think of your time at school not as some rigid, locked-in track, but as a real-life choose-your-own-adventure story, where every single choice you make builds your unique profile.
We're grounding this whole adventure right here at East Anacastle Secondary College. If you treat your education kind of like a massive skill tree in a video game, EDSC provides the ultimate framework for you to level up in the exact areas that matter most to you. From your early years all the way up to graduation, the choices you make here are literally going to shape your ultimate career path.
But before we even start mapping things out, I want you to ask yourself a serious question. What kind of learner are you, really? Are you an analytical thinker who just loves diving deep into complex theories and essays? A creative builder who thrives on designing and physically making things? Or maybe you're a hands-on worker, ready to jump straight into your career through practical, real-world application. Keep your answer in the back of your mind as we explore your options today.
Okay, let's dive right into this roadmap. We'll be hitting 6 key waypoints today: mapping your academic future, Year 9 and exploring the electives, the standard VCE path, the hands-on VCE VM route, fast-tracking with VET and SBAT, and finally, how to make your choice.
Waypoint 1. Mapping your academic future. We begin by looking at the big picture of how your curriculum evolves from a set of common core subjects into highly individualized pathways.
Moving right along to Waypoint 2, Year 9 and exploring the electives. This is where your very first major divergence happens.
You don't just jump straight into the deep end, right? It's a natural progression. You explore first in Year 9 with semester-length electives, then you get oriented in Year 10, where you can even try out some early VCE units. And finally, you fully specialize in Years 11 and 12. It's a beautifully structured ramp-up to your future.
In Year 9, the rules say you have to pick at least one arts and one technology subject, and the options are honestly incredible. You could spend a semester mastering hand-building and ceramics, analyzing cinematography and media, prototyping in STEM, or, and this is a favorite, creating literal focaccia art in food technology. It's all about discovering what actually sparks your curiosity.
Waypoint 3. The standard VCE path. Now we're hitting the senior years, so let's decode some of that alphabet soup, starting with the traditional route.
The VCE, or Victorian Certificate of Education, is that standard, rigorous path most students are already familiar with. It's primarily geared towards university and demands a massive amount of organization and time management over 2 very demanding but ultimately fulfilling years.
Let's do the quick math on successfully completing your VCE at EDSC. You need a minimum of 16 units. Usually, that means knocking out 12 units, so 6 subjects in Year 11, and then scaling down a bit to 10 units in Year 12. The only absolute must-haves? 3 units of English plus 3 sequences at the challenging level 3 and 4. Everything else? That's a highly customized subject list built entirely by you.
Waypoint 4. VCE VM, the hands-on route. Because what if hours of traditional exams just aren't your jam?
Enter the vocational major, or VCE VM. This pathway is specifically designed to empower you with real, tangible workplace experiences. Since it leans heavily into applied learning and external training, you might literally only be at school for 2 or 3 days a week. It absolutely requires maturity, but the payoff for practical learners is massive.
The contrast between these 2 certificates is fascinating. The standard VCE gives you total freedom to mix and match almost any subjects you want. The VCE VM, on the other hand, is actually far more prescriptive. You have to take specific VM literacy, numeracy, work-related skills, and personal development subjects. But here's the catch. Within those fixed subjects, the learning is entirely project-based and super flexible to your real-world interests.
Waypoint 5. Fast track with VET and SBAT. How do we take that applied learning and kick it into overdrive?
With an SBAT, a school-based apprenticeship or traineeship, you get support from an organization called Head Start to merge a nationally recognized VET qualification, actual paying industry work, and your school studies into one powerhouse resume. You're learning at school, training at TAFE, and working on the job. From baking as a pastry chef to laying bricks in civil construction or getting into allied health and IT networking, the options are huge. But listen closely, an SBAT is absolutely not an easy out to avoid regular classes. You've got to travel independently, keep your effort grades up, and act like a safe, responsible adult in a real, functioning workplace.
Our final waypoint, number 6, how to make your choice. With all these incredible paths mapped out,
How do you actually decide?
Consider this your ultimate cheat sheet. First, do a brutally honest audit of your strengths and interests. Second, if uni's the goal, check the Victor booklet to make sure you're hitting those prerequisite subjects. Third, watch out for any extra material fees for things like food tech or art. And finally, please, get your forms in on time. Above all else, never, ever just pick a subject because your friends are taking it or you think it's an easy ride.
The map is right there in your hands, and the pathways are wide open. Whether you lean into the analytical rigor of the VCE, the momentum of the VCE VM, or the massive head start of an SBAT, the choice is entirely yours. So what adventure will you choose to build your ultimate academic legacy? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.